Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back. Yes, I'm saying back because we are on GreenRiver. Gosh, I have no idea what episode number this is, so just actually bear with me here. I will pull up my little trusty spreadsheet and see if I can find it really quick. I was not really sure what the future of this map was going to be when I took my long summer hiatus back in, I guess, in June was kind of the last time that I did something. And I think the last published video, and again, I'm gonna have to just wait until I actually edit this video and get it out on YouTube, because my spreadsheet that I keep all my episode numbers on and the release date and such, and I need to do something with my steering wheel here for a moment. I need to reset that because it is all tight and everything. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, when I took that summer break, I had a few episodes in the can, as they say, as I often refer to, and what that means more or less in my definition of it, and in how, you know, what I do is I have often record episodes in advance, and that way, and of course back then in the June time frame, early summer time frame, I was trying to make sure that I always had videos available so that you guys wouldn't have gaps in your viewing. I'm going to let the John Deere kind of warm up there for a second and collect these eggs. So anyway, and we're running really fast, and let's see if we can slow ourselves down. Let's see, left Alt L, and see if we can slow our walk speed down. I don't know why that got changed. There we go. I don't really like the fast walk speed. All right, so let's move on. So I had some videos in the can. When I took my break just sort of, I just had to do it. I just had to put things aside that wasn't mission critical to my life, to my family, to the things that were going on at the particular time. And as you know, as I've always said, and as most of you, I'd say, you know, the vast majority of my viewers, because I hear from you all so much about this very subject, that you are well aware that, you know, priorities of life and everything always come before our hobbies and everything. So anyway, putting all that aside, I had some videos that I had recorded, but for whatever reason, I felt that they were rushed. I felt that I did not give it my best, and so there's some tasks. I think some of it has to do with some logging. I think I had done a little bit of forestry to get some wood chips for the compost master, and there may have been some other things. Excuse me, there may have been a few other things that I did in videos, and I think that these videos equal about 2, probably no more than 3 videos that I had recorded. And when I sort of came, well, and because part and parcel of me just kind of needing to take a bit of a break, that included taking a break also from editing, uploading, all of that kind of stuff. I was just really, well, in addition to all the things that were sort of coming down on me with work, there was some layoffs going on, not affecting me or my position, not even really affecting my team initially. That did sort of change in the midsummer time frame, unfortunately. But I was just kind of burned out on the whole thing, and I really didn't do a whole lot of gaming. I did some flying a little bit, and I did some farming, but I sort of did it off camera, just sort of on my own private map saves that I don't really turn into video videos and stuff. So so needless to say, when all of that sort of transpired, when that sort of occurred, I just kind of had to pull the plug on everything and just step away from everything. And so these videos that I have been talking about, blabbering on about for a couple of minutes now, were just, I think they were rushed. I think when I recorded them, I was just recording them for the sake of filling up slots on YouTube so that it would buy me a little bit of time, and I don't like that. I didn't like the videos when I had sort of, well, I didn't really like the videos as I was recording them. That's the first point. The second point is that the second point to that is I certainly didn't like the videos after I sort of stepped back and took a review of them and everything. So long story short, sort of very long story short, is that I don't really remember how many of those videos, and I had my spreadsheet shows that I had recorded those episodes, but unfortunately you guys are never going to see them, because they not only did they end up in the on the production room floor, the editing room floor, they're in the trash can and well on their way to the landfill or wherever that kind of stuff goes. So in other words, it's digital files that have been deleted and are no longer on my hard drive. So hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So yes, I'm going to continue GreenRiver. I'm also obviously going to continue the live streams with South Mountain Creamery. Now, as to what happens with Shamrock Farm, because Shamrock Farm was sort of the map that I started playing to sort of get myself back into the swing of Farm Sim and YouTube and all of that, and of course I chose to play that map off without seasons, without the seasons mod. And so but I figured, well, actually I had somebody ask me this, and I'm sorry, I do not remember who it was that asked me about GreenRiver on Thursday night's live stream. I do apologize. I don't remember who you are, but you asked me about this map, and so I did some thinking. And by the way, just for the state of time and all of that kind of stuff, it is Saturday morning, the 29th of September, I believe. And this live stream was on Thursday, so that would have been, what, the 27th of September. So anyway, you asked me about this, and I can't recall what I said necessarily. It was sort of mid thoughts, and we were talking about Farm Sim 19 and stuff like that. And so it got me thinking, and I spent some time yesterday thinking about, well, you know, I've still got that game save, and it's roughly, you know, where I had left off, although there's possibly going to be a gap in the game days. I don't know, you know, again, the last episode that's on YouTube, I'm not sure what game day we were in. Doesn't matter. We're not so far along that it, you know, the story can't make sense when you obviously, hopefully, resume watching this series. But I figured that, you know, this was the, not necessarily, this is by no means a go big or go home type of gameplay, but we do have a variety of crops from my recollection of what we put in the ground. I think we've got, you know, wheat, and we've got some canola, we've got some, I think we might have some corn, as I just run over that tree with our boom. I think we've got some corn in the ground, and we definitely have some sugar beets in the ground. And so I sort of was thinking, sort of after the live stream and sort of on Friday and even this morning as I was making my coffee and everything, and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, what am I going to do? Do I want to maybe live stream on South Mountain Creamery this morning, or just what? And so I decided, I'm like, well, let me just rekindle GreenRiver, because even though I'm sort of advertising South Mountain Creamery as being quite possibly a farewell to Farm Sim 17 map, meaning that it's most likely going to be the last map of Farm Sim 17 that Grizzly Bear Sims plays on with the Seasons mod and everything, because we are inside of 2 months before the release of Farm Sim 19, obviously. And most importantly, you know, everybody has a busy schedule, including myself, and so we're going to just kind of take things easy. And I don't know, I mean, while the views had kind of started to really slow off on this particular map, maybe it's because there was quite a few others that were playing GreenRiver at the same time, and I never really use that as a baseline. I don't really look at, other than sort of looking where the maps that like Duxorley and Eustace Farmer are playing. I try to maybe not play the same maps they do if it's convenient. Sometimes we just, you know, we just end up doing sort of the same thing. And of course, with South Mountain Creamery, Eustace Farmer had put those edits and everything in, and then he kind of reached a point to where it was getting close to the time where he was moving. And as a matter of fact, he is moving today. Today he is flying, literally flying cross country with his wife and 2 cats to his new home in Nevada. So certainly wishing him well on that. But anyway, so it was just kind of a convenient point to get the ability to play such a wonderful map with such wonderful edits that Eustace had made to that. But you know, this map I was also very much in love with when I was playing it, especially when I was setting it up. So anyway, so here we are. This is kind of what we're going to be doing. I'm still sticking to my guns, as they say. I'm not going to put out a schedule. I'm going to record videos as I feel it, as I want to, as I, you know, want to enjoy the time that I spend both, you know, behind the microphone, so to speak, and behind the wheel, behind my G27, playing these simulation-based games and putting them out there. I even said on the live stream on Thursday night that, you know, if and when ATS is fully updated, and I'm talking about with the release of Oregon, which is coming up on the 4th of October, that is next Thursday. You're probably going to see this video on like maybe Tuesday the 2nd of October, something like that, maybe Monday the 1st, but I'm kind of thinking that you'll probably see it on Tuesday the 2nd. On Thursday the 4th, SCS will release Oregon DLC as part of the ATS map. And I said on Thursday night on the live stream that, you know, once that has come out, once Truckers MP, that's the multiplayer platform for multiplayer American Truck Simulator and ETS2, once that gets patched and allows for, you know, the, not the beta, but the production, full production version of ATS to be on there and implemented, that I would be interested in doing some convoys, some stuff with you guys, some of you guys that play ETS, or even ETS2 as well. I mean, you know, just depends on what we want to do and how we want to do it. But I kind of have a feeling that obviously with Oregon being new, the newest thing for ATS, most folks are probably going to want to stretch their legs, their trucking legs up into Oregon, I'm sure. But anyway, so, you know, and there's no guarantees, no promises. I'm really just talking here sort of out loud and saying that, you know, this could be things that, you know, we could do should you want to. But I do want to say, I do want to thank everyone that is coming out for the live streams. You know, I do like live streaming. Sometimes live streaming, at least for me, and I know, you know, I watch others who live stream. I know sometimes live streaming is sort of that, you know, it's almost that element of of going live with a piece of software or something. There's going to be some issues. You've spent plenty of time testing everything and going over everything, but as the nature of just the fact that you're live, or you've put something out in production, then that's when errors and bugs and stuff like that hit. So like the other night, I was trying to figure out how to empty slurry from one of the Cote slurry tankers into the large field side slurry bin, and couldn't get it to work. Couldn't figure out how to make it happen, even though I have used those two particular items before. So I get flustered when I'm in a live setting, because who doesn't? And so sort of as a nature of that, I just said, well, the heck with that for right now. We weren't going to spread slurry right then and there anyway. That was probably going to be for the next live stream, which we'll probably do this next week. But in any event, it was still a little bit frustrating and everything. But hey, I'm not the type of person that claims to know everything, and so even though I don't always leave my mistakes, I don't always leave my boo-boos and everything into the videos, because quite honestly, sometimes those are time-consuming situations where I'm trying to figure something out, and so I don't want to waste your time with something like that. So I often will take those things out, take those elements out, and but on a live stream, obviously, you guys get to see all the glitz and even some of the horror. So anyway, about 17 minutes into this video, and I think we're just going to stick with the theme of spreading liquid fertilizer here on our fields. We probably now off camera, actually, I wanted to make sure that the Seasons mod, because the Seasons mod got updated during my long hiatus away from FarmSim and away from YouTube. The Seasons mod got updated, and so I was very careful that when I took the update in preparation for playing South Mountain Creamery, I was very careful, and it said that there would be no problems with older map saves. So I went ahead and sort of took a leap of faith and went ahead and made sure, even though I have the older version backed up, so if I would have got an error or something like that, I would have been able to have gone back to the older version. But this is the latest and greatest, and it's kind of how I like to, I like to make sure that I'm running the latest and greatest stuff for you guys, so that if there are problems or whatever, maybe I can help, or at least warn you all or something and say, hey, avoid this like the plague or whatever. But anyway, so again, in the real world, it is the what did I say it was? It's the 29th of September, Saturday morning. Wife is still asleep. I think her sinus infection is causing her some grief, and she has a CAT scan coming up. I think it's a CAT scan that she has. Maybe it's an MRI. I get those two. Elements confused. But anyway, she has some type of a scan coming up to check her sinus situation, I suppose, for lack of a better description. And then the ENT will decide whether or not he wants to take a sample from the sinus cavity, because she's been on a couple of rounds of antibiotics since midsummer, and as most of you all probably know, antibiotics are a wonderful thing, but they're not something that you want to take. They're not something that you want to take forever. They're sort of as we go around here in a circle to try to get back onto our correct trajectory here. They're not something that you want to. They're not a permanent solution, in other words, is what I'm saying. And so, not being a doctor, and certainly didn't sleep in Holiday Inn Express last night. Not real sure everything I'm talking about, but we know that it's not something that she wants to continue to do, to take antibiotics just to feel better for, you know, about 10 days or so before the symptoms start coming back. So the last time that the doctor took a sample from her sinus cavity itself, he was able to get some antibiotics manufactured or engineered or whatever specifically for that infection, and that worked for many months. So I don't know if that's what's coming down the pike for her. We'll see. But I just, you know, I feel sorry for her, because ever since she's had all this nasal surgery several years ago, she has just been plagued with one sinus infection after another, and it's quite miserable. I'm sure I've had the odd sinus infection from time to time after, you know, having been sick or something, like with cold or flu or whatever, and just, you know, that kind of turns into something kind of nasty up there. But you know, she's had this that's plagued her for quite a bit of time, and you know, I feel helpless because there's nothing I can do about it. I'm usually the type of person that, you know, I will knock down doors, knock down walls, do just about anything for friends and family, and especially my wife, and so again, I really feel like my hands are tied with this, because you know, she's miserable, and I can't do anything to help her other than to encourage her to you know, to go to the doctor and stuff like that. So anyway, moving right along, I will also let's talk a little bit about the weather, because we've got just a few minutes before we'll probably end this up. Fall has come into the Rocky Mountain area, especially Colorado and specifically Denver. We are on what is we often experience this in the springtime, but we've got a fall version of our weather roller coaster, which has just been crazy the last couple of days. So this week, I started out this work week wearing shorts on Monday to work. Yes, we have a very relaxed dress code, and of course I wear nice shorts. These are not just, you know, something that I would go out and cut grass or something in. They're, you know, just kind of like golf shorts or whatever. So I started out wearing shorts on Monday. On Tuesday I was in jeans, because the high on Monday was in the 80s, and the high on Tuesday was like 65 or something, 70, and so it was pretty low temperature in the morning, and I get up and I'm in the office usually by 6 o'clock. Wednesday was pretty much the same. It warmed up on Thursday. It was in the low 80s on Thursday, and then yesterday it struggled to get to 60, so back in jeans again yesterday. And then today, of all things, so yesterday the high was about 62 degrees. Today they're forecasting 85. Tomorrow we're going to dip back down into the maybe mid to upper 70s, I think. So yeah, so we're on this fall weather roller coaster. As I take a drink of coffee. But hey, what are you going to do, you know? Thankfully, we are getting some moisture in the high country. Some of our ski areas have started not only making snow, so man-made snow, but of course the Mother Nature is providing the real stuff to go along with that, and so that's a good thing. And so anyway, so I thought the reason why we are fertilizing this grass field, even though it's midsummer, is I think we'll get another cut out of this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get another cut out of this, because I think we need, I think we're going to need probably one more cutting for hay. I don't really know how much hay we have over there. It looks like we've got quite a few. We've got more hay than we have straw, obviously, because we have not harvested yet. um, but we possibly could use a little bit more hay. I did cut the grass around the compost facility, so sort of our, what I have called our production area of the map, where we have the fuel diesel production facility. We've got the compost master down there. We've also got a silage silo down there. I cut grass around that facility off camera and put all of that grass, it was about maybe 250 to 300,000 liters, put all of that into the silage silo down there. So we have either that to sell at the BGA if we want to, or we obviously have that for our farm use. So we will see what we need to do as we progress through this season this year. Now I started this map, this series. I started this with, you know, either game day 1 or game day 2. I think we're playing, yep, looks like we're playing 9 game day seasons for this map, which is a little bit, you know, 3 is too fast. 6 and 9 are probably ideal. We've got quite a bit of hay actually, now that I say that, but I wouldn't, I don't think we would be wasting our time if we were able to cut this one more time and make hay out of it. But anyway, 3 is too short. 9 is bordering on too long, but it's doable. Really anything else above 9 game days per season, especially trying to do a video series. Now I know others have done video series playing longer number of days per season, and I take my hat off to them, but I get a bit bored with a map after a certain period of time. I've never really found a map, I suppose, especially since I've got to try to, you know, package these things up into bite-size samples for you all to watch, that I've never found a map other than maybe Thornton Farm that really resonated with me to a point to where that I could say, you know, I would really like to continue, or I'm sorry, Lawfolds, well, and Thornton Farm as well. I like Thornton Farm, but I think Lawfolds is the one that I was talking about. So anyway, so we're at about 28 minutes or so. We won't worry about spraying that right there because it's not really enough to worry with. And I think we need to do maybe one more thing that we'll do on camera, just to go ahead and fill out the time. And I'm not sure where I left my pickup. Oh, it's in there where it's supposed to be. Duh. That's a good thing. That's a sign that I at least were putting my toys away after I was using them. So let's take the pickup truck. We'll zoom down to the pigs for just a moment, and I think I think they need some water, and I think they need some food, and then we'll just kind of wrap things up. So let's actually take a look at our map situation. All of our fields that have crop on them are all fertilized up to the last stage. That last field number 27, was the final field that we had not quite got to yet. 26, we've bumped that up. That was in the light blue before we sprayed that. We've got our 2 grass fields over here that we've only cut once, so we've got those as an opportunity to cut. We could bump this up if I felt like we need more. Silage, because it's just convenient to dump the silage there, obviously. And of course, I just cut that in the previous game day. So game day number 4 was when I actually cut that grass around the production facility. So I think we're probably okay, but we'll kind of see how things go, and most likely over, you know, maybe over the next couple of game days, we need to start thinking about and prepping for the fall harvest. So I might start bringing some of the equipment, like since we're probably done with the fertilized sprayer, probably bring it on down to our secondary facility there for storage, bring the combine up to the main farm, do things like that, just to get ready for fall, because it will be here right around the corner, and it will probably the fall harvest, may happen sooner rather than later as far as video time goes, just simply because all I need to do is take care of the animals off camera, and we can just basically fast forward till we get to that point. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time, and I certainly don't like to fast forward too much, but there again, I don't necessarily want to fill segments or episodes doing forestry and stuff like that, because well, it's not my cup of tea so much. I don't mind doing it, and as I sort of explained with South Mountain Creamery, we needed to do a little bit of forestry with that map, because we are doing the beehive, building the beehive thing, building the honey milk factory, so we obviously have to do a little bit of forestry there, just to kind of fit the theme and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't want to necessarily do that just to take up video time. And considering that we're not necessarily playing it at 3x speed right now, so anyway, that's really just that. That's kind of what I'm talking about. So we'll just kind of do our screenshot from here, I think. Get that pig's bottom out of the way of the picture. There we go. Alright. And we'll give them some feed. And I'll start rambling and let you all know how much I appreciate you guys watching my videos, which I really, really do. That's not just, that's not lip service. I really shouldn't have said ramble and say that, but you guys know what I mean. But I do appreciate it, because, knowing that folks enjoy watching the episodes that I put out, regardless of whether it's farm sim, regardless if it's a live stream or a map like GreenRiver, or South Mountain Creamery or whatever, or if it's ATS or ETS2 or whatever, just knowing that people appreciate that. I've got such great viewers, because trust me, there are so many trolls out there in the world, and they do stop by, and I can't say that it doesn't affect me when someone leaves a comment or something that is that I somewhat take slight offense to. We're human, and I think that I had some comments in the June time frame, right around the time that I took my hiatus, and I think some of that was contributing also to the fact that you start weighing things out in life, and you start saying to yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth doing this? Because you can get 100 positive comments that make you feel good and everything, and make you say it's worth it because I've got people that truly enjoy watching this, and then you get some little some commenter that comes by that's probably a young person, or maybe even an older person living in his parents' basement, that leaves a comment that just kind of makes you go, well, okay, you're just a fine representation of a human that just is just set out to cause other people problems. So anyway, and something, the biggest thing that people sort of make fun of, you could make fun of a lot of things, and for people and whatever. But anyway, I think a lot of people stop by and they sort of poke fun at me or make fun of the fact that I run a rated G channel, and they like to leave comments that are obviously not rated G and tell me what to go do to myself and whatever. And that's just, I mean, that's just rude. And of course, these people are just horrible individuals, and one day they'll wake up and, you know, karma will bite them in the backside probably. But anyway, it is 35 minutes, folks, and I like to keep my videos certainly around 30, under 45. So thank you all so very much for coming out and hanging out with me this fine day, watching this video and everything. I am going to continue this series. Again, probably, you know, 1 to 2 videos a week on this map, 1 to 2 live streams on the South Mountain Creamery map, as long as that continues to work. And we'll just kind of see out Farm Sim 17 as the best possible. Now, I know a lot of people say they have plans to continue farming on Farm Sim 17 even after 19 comes out. Most likely, I'm going to do exactly what I did with 15, is we'll try to time things where everything ends around the time right before Farm Sim 19 comes out. I'm going to actually be out of town the week that Farm Sim 19 drops. That's the Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. So I'm going to be down in Texas visiting family and eating some turkey and deviled eggs and stuff like that. But when I get back and get back into the swing of things, it'll be, obviously 19 will be out, and I will probably just, you know, take a slow approach to recording episodes and everything on one of the, you know, base maps until some mod maps come out, and we'll just have fun together. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you watching my streams and my channel and my videos and all that good stuff. Take good care of yourself. Also take good care of each other. We're all we have in the world. Let's you know, band together and fight the trolls, and hopefully they'll learn their lessons and they'll come along and join forces with the good people. There is so much good in this world. It really does outweigh the bad. I'm convinced of that. We just have to band together and fight the bad, fight the naughtiness and everything. And so I appreciate you guys so much. So until next time, take care from Green River. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.